Welcome to What the Flick, everybody. Better Call Saul, episode 2. Michelle, Alonso, and Ben. Let's talk about Kim, because the relationship is so nice. It's the first time we've seen any humanity from Saul with a woman. You know, I mean, we saw some last year, obviously, that they were, but they really like each other. It's such a nice relationship, and we know it ends. I think she's dead.
I was wondering.
Oh, in Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I think she dies. That's what. Like, I wonder, like, how could she be? I mean, of course, how could she be? They didn't know they didn't know to write her in Breaking Bad. Well, they didn't, it could have been. But I feel like that.
Unless she has a tournament or something.
Or she moved to, like, she left. She got away from.
Right. Well, also he's got another name at that point, so he could be hiding out from her. I'm curious if the show lasts long enough.
She's not going to stay with him through a name change.
No,
that's clear.
I'm wondering if the show lasts long enough, if they can like start dovetailing into Breaking Bad and doing like, here's stuff that Saul was doing while other stuff was happening. You know, I don't where we wouldn't need like those other characters. But this what I'm loving about this season is that season 1 ended with Jimmy furious at Chuck for implying that he was always going to be Slippin' Jimmy, and all we found out since then is Chuck's right. He is always going to be Slippin' Jimmy. He's always going to be a shyster. He's always going to be a criminal. He's always going to be looking for shortcuts and looking to, like run scams. And so it's like, yes, I can see why he was upset at being told that, but it's true.
I was really bummed when I found out it was true. Because I had to be honest, like at the end of last season, I was like, oh man, he's come so far. He's like turned himself around.
But I think, but part of it is because his brother did that. I mean, I get it. He ultimately he has responsibility for himself, and his brother's callousness toward him can't be used as a justification for becoming Slippin' Jimmy. But you can see that moment, the mere fact that Chuck is in there and Chuck is, I want to bear witness to something I didn't believe could happen. And instantly you think, man. Oh, fine, I'll go. Like that same instinct caused him that initially had him quit or not take the job to be me is the same one where he thought he's going to take the call from Jonathan Banks. Like his brother pushes him into that.
But here's the thing though, even in the first episode before Chuck comes back, at the end he's seemingly got everything. He's got the company car, he's got the Coca-Cola desk, everything, and he's still like tearing the thing off the switch. Like he is still, his first instinct is how do I fuck shit up?
Right, that's right.
And I have everything I want, and it is not fulfilling to me at all. I got to be this other guy. So part of it, is there's nothing like low expectations to make you want to fulfill them, but it's not just that.
No, it's not just that, but it's been his whole life, these low expectations. That's who he is.
Sure.
That's where he is psychologically comfortable, is not allowing people to tell him what to do or vague the man to tell him what to do.
Well, and I think that's the most devastating part for me is because his brother is that guy who has no faith in him, but finally he has Kim. And she really does. She actually believes in him and is there to support him.
Yes, and so that relationship is so nice to see, and to see them really falling for it. So incredibly sweet, and the footsie under the table, and when Chuck comes in, putting her hand like, you can, don't get flustered, stay here, you can finish this, and he does, and he gets a laugh. But I think she overreacted to that decision to go he was defending that guy, and part of defending that guy fully was going to be like, all right, we're going to have to see a video. To me, I'm not a lawyer. I watch a lot of law shows, and to me, that falsifying evidence.
It's interesting how fine the line is. Like, it's okay for him to lie to the police and make up that story, but then if you make corroborating evidence to the lie, then that's too far.
Yeah, that seems a silly distinction for him. Like the lie is, you're lying. You're lying to police to get the police to lay off your client. That's his job. That's what he's supposed to do, and he did it well. And if you have to go make a video to show that you do this, you don't have to suggest that the video, you don't have to tell them the video was made then. You just go, here's one of the videos he made of him being on the pod. Again, it's all deceitful, but I don't know that you've falsified evidence at that point.
I love it, but I mean, it feels like it has to be illegal, right? I mean, I thought it was so funny, and it's might be what I'd do, but I'm not a lawyer.
Well, it's like that William Hurt line in broadcast news where Holly Hunter tells him he crossed the line. He goes, well, they keep moving that sucker, don't they? Maybe in the law it's more clear cut, and we just don't know how it works. No, sorry, go ahead.
I think she's just upset. I don't think it's as much a double standard or just being too hard on him. I think she's upset upset because she knows he could jeopardize everything.
Right.
That she wants him
She
to
sees
have.
it as a sign of, oh, for crying out loud, you couldn't just weave that story. You can't help but going too far. You can't help but going too far.
And she doesn't want him to lose everything.
I just want to point out real quick, if you love Mark Proksch, who plays Doofy Hummer Guy,
No.
Rocky Mountain Mike, who watches these, pointed out go to YouTube and look for the Zim Zam the Yo-Yo Man videos.
Zim Zam the Yo-Yo.
He would go. It was this whole elaborate prank thing where he pretended to be like a yo-yo guy who went to schools, and he would do these these local news spots that were hilarious.
All right, I like it because
I really enjoyed that video.
But just what he enables Jonathan Banks to do. I mean, nobody.
The slowest burn.
The slowest burn, the look away burn. Nobody does that better than Jonathan Banks. Yeah.
Because you're exceptionally stupid.
And a great conversation between Tuco. Was that Tuco?
No.
That's
the
whatever, that guy.
Tuco's lieutenant.
Right.
Whatever.
So between that guy and Jonathan Banks about how dumb.
This guy, yeah.
He's
You
like,
were
because the guy's
underestimating.
like, no, I got how dumb he is. He's like, I don't think
You do.
It was just good, and the baseball cards, just everything about that was, and the cops, like, we got to see some, like both the uniformed officers and the detectives. They're not idiots.
No.
Right?
No.
Like, I like when people aren't fools, and it was, and that scene was just, to me, priceless of Jim. And why don't you take some air? Okay. So here's the deal, guys. That's enough with this. Enough with that. We're just four friends. I don't know, it was really
But yeah,
good.
no, the whole like squat cobbler speech is just genius, because like, how do you explain something to them that they'll A, believe, B, not really want to know that much more about, and C, will be like, okay, fine, yes, whatever, just that was great.
And you can see how it would be how that move would again further develop, perhaps even a meaningful friendship between Saul or Jimmy and
Mike. Sure.
I don't know. I like it. By the way, Rhea Seahorn, we should mention.
Yes, we talked about her last week. That's,
okay, good. All right,
that's a name we're all memorizing now because
Yeah.
she's amazing.
She's good, and I gotta find out what happened to her. I mean, we're gonna find out, obviously. But just that first scene too, the notion that he won't go out the emergency door because police might respond. I mean,
Oh, from episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great.
yeah.
Yeah, and so you're thinking like she might be dead. I'm wondering, like, does he change his name because he gets disbarred? Is he even legally a lawyer when
But
we meet him?
you couldn't get disbarred and then put up billboards. under
Yeah,
your other
no.
name. I mean,
I don't think so.
again,
But
watched a lot of LA law. I think I have a pretty good understanding of how this
But
works.
if you changed where you live completely, I mean, aren't there so many studies that say that, like, if you commit a crime in one state and then you just move, like the ability to track people down if you change
But
your name or
he
do
stays in
anything.
Albuquerque.
Stays in Albuquerque.
Oh, that's a good
Right.
point.
So he didn't commit a crime. He wasn't disbarred. He, I think, is going to get to a point where this is how much I'm rejecting
The
being
McGill
Slippin' Jim
name, yeah.
and McGill and
Got it.
Chuck.
Yeah.
I think, but who
We'll see
knows?
what
Who
they
knows?
what they lay on us.
Yeah. Anyway, good. This is really good.
Yeah.
Like, this is a really.
And
good
sadly, the numbers are super down. Like
is that right?
apparently the ratings for the premiere were about half of what the series premiere were last year, which is very depressing.
Watch the show. Watch it, so good.
Well,
So we
these
can
people
go-
are already watching.
Oh,
You don't have to tell them.
Don't
but-
make
Get your friends to watch the show.
don't make AMC do what FX has to do with the Americans, which is just suck it up, even though the ratings are bad.
Yes.
Because there's a risk. If you have to suck it up, you might just cancel it.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like, maybe you'll get some Emmys out of it. And so
Yeah.
you keep it on. But yeah, save Better Call Saul, please.
All right, Michelle, Alonso, Ben, thanks everybody.